In this video, I will show you how to sum amount by fiscal year in Excel like this. So let's get started. Here in this Excel sheet, I have some dates in this column and the amount in this column. Now I want to sum the amount by fiscal or financial year given in these cells. To do that, I will add one column at the end to store the fiscal year of the date. In many countries, the fiscal or financial year does not start in January. For example, in India, the fiscal year starts on 1st April and ends on 31st March of the next calendar year. The current financial year is April 2024 to March 2025, also referred to as the financial year 2024-25, FY 24-25 or simply FY 25. So the months of April to December 2024 belong to the financial year FY 2025, while months of January to March 2024 are part of the previous fiscal year FY 2024. To calculate the financial year from a date, we first need to extract the year from the date. Once we get the year, we need to determine if the month number is greater than or equal to April. If it is, we need to add 1 to the year value. Here is the formula to extract the financial year from the date. This part of the formula extracts the year from the date using the Excel year function. Now we need to add 1 if the month number is greater than or equal to the month number of April. If the financial year starts from July for any country, we need to replace the month number of April with July in the formula. I have used the month function to extract the month number from the date. If the month number is greater than or equal to the month number of April, this part returns a true value, and if it is not, it returns a false value. Since it is a Boolean operation, Excel evaluates a true value as 1 and false value as 0. So for the months of April to December, 1 is added to the year value to make the date part of the FY 2025. For the months of January to March, the condition becomes false, so 0 is added to the year value and the year remains 2024. Let's copy the formula to other cells by dragging the cell down from the bottom right corner of the cell. As you can see, we now have the fiscal years for all the transactions. I will use the Excel SUMIF function to sum the amount for the given years. The SUMIF function returns the sum of the values in a range that meets the specified condition. This function accepts 3 arguments: a range, a condition, and an optional sum range if we want to add cells other than those specified in the range. Let's start the formula by typing an equal sign in the target cell. Now type SUMIF followed by an opening bracket. Since we want to compare the fiscal year given in this column with the fiscal years of amount, I will select the fiscal year cell range as the first argument and the cell containing fiscal year as the second condition argument. If the fiscal years match, I want to sum the amount, so I will select the amount cell range as the third argument. Type the closing bracket and hit the enter key to complete the formula. Copy the formula to other cells as well. As you can see, we now have the sum of the amounts by fiscal year. We can also use the SUMPRODUCT function to add numbers by financial years. If we use this approach, we do not need the helper column to calculate the financial year that we used earlier. Here is the formula that uses the SUMPRODUCT function to sum numbers by the financial years of the dates. This part of the formula extracts the financial years from the dates as earlier. It returns an array of 7 elements containing the financial years of each date. The elements are then compared with the year we have stored in the E column. This comparison also returns an array of 7 elements containing true and false values. The true value is returned if the financial year of the date is equal to the financial year mentioned in the E column, otherwise it returns a false value. I have applied the double negative minus minus to convert these true and false values to 1 and 0 respectively. This operation also returns an array of 7 elements containing 1s and 0s, and that becomes the first argument of the SUMPRODUCT function. I have specified the range of the cells containing the amount as the second argument of the SUMPRODUCT function. Since the first 3 elements of the first array contain 1, the first 3 elements of the amount array are multiplied by 1 and then added together. The rest of the elements are 0, so when multiplied with the respective amount, they become 0 and does not affect the total. So the final sum becomes the total of the first 3 rows, which is 18,634. Similarly, for the financial year 2023, the last 4 rows return 1 when compared to the year mentioned in the E column. So the first 3 amounts are multiplied by 0 and the last 4 amounts are multiplied by 1 and then added together. Thus, the total amount for the financial year 2023 becomes 22,340. Watch these videos for more Excel tips, tricks and how-to tutorials. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel.